Stop for a moment. Yes, right now. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Just pause and take a slow, deep breath. Now ask yourself one simple question. Are you really living, or are you just existing? Not tomorrow. Not next year. Right now. Because the truth is, most people don't realize they are stuck. They wake up, check their phone, scroll for a few minutes, and somehow those few minutes become 1 hour. They feel busy, but at the end of the day, nothing really changes. Does that sound familiar? Let's be honest for a second. You have dreams, right? You want to speak English fluently. You want a better job, more confidence, more freedom, and a life that actually feels exciting. But here is the real question. What are you doing today to move closer to that life? Not what you plan to do. Not what you wish to do. What are you actually doing today? Because dreaming is easy, but daily actions always tell the truth. You say you want to grow, but you spend hours on social media. You say you want to learn English, but you only watch and never speak. You say you are busy, but are you really busy, or are you just distracted? There is a big difference. Busy does not mean productive. You can fill your day with noise and still go nowhere. And here is something many people do not want to hear. Social media is not always the main problem. The deeper problem is unconscious living. It is doing things without thinking, living on autopilot, and letting your time disappear without asking where it went. Slowly, quietly, and almost invisibly, your life starts to slip away. That is why this truth matters so much. Time is not just time. Time is your life. Every hour you waste is a part of your life you will never get back. Not later. Not someday. Gone. Maybe you do not feel that loss today, but one day you will. One day you may look back and ask yourself, where did all my time go? And that question can hurt more than failure, because failure at least means you tried. Wasted time means you never even gave yourself the chance. So listen carefully. You are not lazy, you are not weak, and you are not broken. You are distracted. Your attention is being pulled in 100 different directions by notifications, videos, endless scrolling, and short-term comfort. Because of that, you forget what really matters. You forget your goals, your potential, and the person you could become. But here is the good news. If you can lose focus, you can also take it back. If you can waste time, you can also rebuild your life. And that change starts with one powerful thing: awareness. Not fake motivation. Not empty words. Not sweet promises that make you feel better for 5 minutes and then disappear. This video is not here to give you comfortable lies. It is here to give you honesty. It is here to act like a mirror, so you can see your life clearly and decide whether you are truly moving forward or simply repeating the same day again and again. So do not just listen to these words. Feel them. Think about your routine. Think about your habits. Think about the version of yourself you still have time to become. Then ask yourself one more time, and this time answer honestly. Am I living, or am I just existing? Because if you can answer that question truthfully, you can change everything. And that is where this journey begins. Now let's go deeper, because awareness alone is not enough. If you see the truth but don't change your actions, nothing will improve. So here is the first thing you must understand clearly. You are not killing time. Time is killing you. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, every time you scroll for 1 more hour, every time you delay something important, you are not just passing time. You are slowly trading pieces of your life for comfort. And the scariest part is, you don't feel it immediately. Let me ask you something simple. What did you do yesterday? Not your plans, not your intentions. Your real actions. What did you do in the morning? In the afternoon? At night? And now ask yourself, did those actions move your life forward even a little bit? Or did they just help you pass the day? Because your life is not built in big moments. It is built in small, daily decisions. 1 hour wasted every day may not feel like much, but over 1 year, that is hundreds of hours of your life gone. Gone without results, without growth, without change. And this is where many people make the biggest mistake. They start blaming everything around them. They say, I didn't have a good education. My family didn't support me. I don't have money. I don't have time. I'm not talented enough. But let's be honest, these are not solutions. These are excuses that keep you comfortable, because blaming feels easier than taking responsibility. When you blame, you don't have to change. You don't have to try. You don't have to risk failure. But the moment you take responsibility, everything changes. Because now, your life is in your hands. Not your parents, not your boss, not your past. You. Only you. And history has already shown us this truth many times. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, faced serious challenges, and had every reason to give up. But she didn't spend her life blaming her situation. She chose to build something from it. She took control of her story. And that decision changed everything. So instead of asking, "Why is my life like this?" start asking, "What can I do today to improve it?" Even a small step matters. Because action creates progress, and progress creates confidence. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous lies people tell themselves. I'll do it later. It sounds harmless. It sounds reasonable. But in reality, it is one of the biggest traps in life. Because later is not a real time. It does not exist. Later often becomes next week, then next month, then next year. And before you know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. Imagine this for a moment. Imagine waking up 10 years from now. You look at your life, and you realize you are still in the same place. Same habits, same fears, same excuses. And you remember all the times you said, "I'll start later." That feeling, that regret, is much heavier than failure. Because failure means you tried. Regret means you didn't even begin. And one of the main reasons people delay action is overthinking. They think too much and do too little. They want the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect conditions. But perfection is an illusion. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone wants to learn swimming. He watches videos, reads books, buys the best equipment, and studies techniques for months. But he never enters the water. Will he ever learn? Of course not. Because learning happens through action, not preparation alone. You are doing the same thing in your life. You watch videos about improving your English, but you don't speak. You plan your goals, but you don't act. You think about success, but you stay in the same place. And slowly, thinking becomes a comfortable escape from doing. So how do you break this cycle? You need a simple, practical system. Not something complicated. Something you can actually use every day. First, the 1-hour rule. Take just 1 hour every day and dedicate it to something that improves your life. It could be learning English, reading, building a skill, or working on your goal. 1 focused hour. No distractions. No phone. If you do this consistently, your life will change faster than you expect. Second, the 10-minute start rule. If something feels difficult or you don't feel motivated, tell yourself, "I will do it for just 10 minutes. That's it. No pressure. Just start. Because starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. Third, daily planning. Before you sleep, or when you wake up, write down the most important thing you need to do that day. Not 10 things. Just 1 or 2 that truly matter. Then complete them no matter what. This builds discipline and clarity. Remember this, you don't need a perfect plan. You need consistent action. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. Because your life is not waiting for you to feel ready. It is moving forward every single day. So from this moment, stop asking, "When should I start?" The real answer is simple. Start now. Now let's talk about something that feels safe, but is actually dangerous. Your comfort zone. It feels good, right? It feels easy. You wake up, do the same things, follow the same routine, stay where it's familiar, where nothing hurts, where nothing is uncertain. And for a moment, it feels like peace. But here is the truth. Your comfort zone is not protecting you. It is slowly limiting you. It is a silent killer of your potential. Because nothing grows inside comfort. No progress, no confidence, no new skills, no new life. Everything you want is outside of it. Think about a seed. When it is under the soil, it is safe. No wind, no pressure, no struggle. But if it stays there forever, it will never become a tree. To grow, it must break through the ground. It must face the sun, the rain, the wind. Only then does it become something strong and alive. And you are no different. If you stay comfortable all the time, you stay the same. But why do people stay in the comfort zone? The answer is simple: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of what other people will think. You want to speak English, but you are afraid of making mistakes. You are afraid someone will laugh. You are afraid you will sound not good enough. So you stay silent. You keep watching videos, learning passively, telling yourself you will speak when you are ready. But here is the truth: you will never feel ready. Confidence does not come before action. It comes after. So let people laugh. Let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. Because while they are watching, you are growing. Every mistake you make is a step forward. Every uncomfortable moment is proof that you are improving. If you want to speak English, then speak. Even if your sentences are broken. Even if your pronunciation is not perfect. Progress is not clean. Progress is messy. And that is okay. Now this is where everything begins to change. Not just your actions, but your identity. Because real transformation is not about doing more. It is about becoming someone new. Instead of asking, "What should I do today?" ask a different question. What would a disciplined person do today? And then follow that answer. A disciplined person does not wait for motivation. A disciplined person shows up. A disciplined person does what needs to be done, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it is boring, even when no one is watching. So if you want to change your life, you must start thinking like that person. Walk like that person. Act like that person, even before you feel like it. Because identity comes from repeated actions. But let's be real. This is not easy. Because every day, you are facing a battle. Not with the world, but with yourself. There are two versions of you. One wants comfort, rest, distraction, and easy pleasure. The other wants growth, discipline, and a better future. And these two versions are always fighting. It is like having two wolves inside you. One is lazy, negative, full of excuses. The other is focused, strong, and determined. Do you know which one wins? The one you feed every day. If you keep choosing comfort, the weak version grows stronger. If you keep choosing action, the stronger version takes control. So every small decision matters. When you choose to study instead of scrolling, you feed the strong wolf. When you speak English instead of staying silent, you feed the strong wolf. When you wake up and take action instead of going back to sleep, you feed the strong wolf. And over time, your identity begins to change. This is where willpower comes in. Many people think willpower is something you either have or don't have. But that is not true. Willpower is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And the best way to train it is not with big, dramatic actions. It is with small, consistent habits. For example, your phone. You say you want to focus, but your phone is always in your hand. You check it without thinking. One notification becomes 10 minutes, then 30, then 1 hour. So start small. Set a simple rule. Maybe you don't use your phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up. Or you put it in another room when you study. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will tell you to check it. But if you stay strong, even for a short time, you are building willpower. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes. You begin to control your habits instead of letting your habits control you. You begin to act based on your goals, not your feelings. Because the truth is, you will not always feel motivated. You will not always feel ready. Some days you will feel tired, distracted, or even lost. But discipline means you act anyway. So remember this: growth begins when comfort ends. Confidence begins when fear is faced. And a new life begins when you stop waiting and start becoming. Now let's clear your mind, because even if you take action, a confused mind will still slow you down. One of the biggest reasons people feel stuck today is not a lack of ability, but a lack of clarity. And one of the fastest ways to lose clarity is comparison. Every day, you open your phone and see other people's lives. Someone is more successful. Someone speaks better English. Someone has more money, more followers, more confidence. And slowly, without noticing, you start comparing your life to theirs. You start asking, why am I not there yet? What is wrong with me? But here is the truth you must understand. You are comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You see the best 10 seconds of their day, and you compare it to your full 24 hours. You don't see their struggles. You don't see their failures. You don't see the days they felt lost, tired, or unsure. And yet, you let that comparison destroy your confidence. That is why comparison is a trap. It does not push you forward. It pulls you backward. So instead of comparing, replace it with something better: inspiration. When you see someone doing well, don't ask, "Why not me?" Ask, "What can I learn from them?" Learn, adapt, and move forward on your own path. Because your life is not a race against others. It is a journey of becoming better than who you were yesterday. Now let's talk about something even more powerful: focus. Right now, inside your mind, there are two forces fighting for control. One is focus, the other is distraction. One builds your future, the other destroys it slowly. And just like before, the one that wins is the one you feed. Every time you scroll without purpose, every time you watch something just to escape, every time you avoid your responsibilities, you are feeding distraction. And the more you feed it, the harder it becomes to concentrate, to learn, to grow. But imagine something different. Imagine you give your full focus for just 1 year. Not perfect, just consistent. You reduce distractions, you study regularly, you practice your English, you work on your goals every day. After 365 days, your life will not look the same. That is not motivation. That is simple cause and effect. But to stay focused, you also need to protect your mind from the wrong voices. Today, everyone has an opinion. Everyone gives advice. But not everyone has experience. So you need to learn how to filter what you hear. Before you listen to someone, ask yourself a simple question. Has this person achieved what I want? If the answer is yes, then listen carefully. If the answer is no, then be respectful, but don't follow their path. Because listening to the wrong advice can confuse you, slow you down, and even stop you completely. Many people give advice based on fear, not experience. They tell you to stay safe, to not take risks, to not try something new. But remember, they are speaking from their life, not yours. You are the one who has to live with your decisions. And this leads to one of the most important shifts you can make. Stop waiting to be chosen, and start choosing yourself. Many people wait for permission. They wait for someone to say, "You are good enough." They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, the perfect support. But that moment rarely comes. The people who succeed are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who begin. Think about J.K. Rowling. Her book was rejected many times. Imagine if she waited for approval before believing in herself. Imagine if she stopped after the first rejection. But she didn't. She chose herself. She believed in her story before the world did. And because of that, the world eventually listened. You can do the same. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need to believe in yourself enough to start. Write your own name on your opportunities. Create your own chances. Because once you begin, momentum builds. And finally, let's talk about something that quietly controls many lives: expectations. Family expectations. Society expectations. The idea that you must follow a certain path to be accepted. A stable job, a safe life, a predictable future. And for some people, that path is fine. But for others, it feels like a cage. When you live only to meet expectations, you slowly lose yourself. You stop asking what you want. You stop listening to your own voice. And one day, you realize you are living a life that does not feel like yours. That is why you must be careful. Respect others, but do not surrender your life to their expectations. This is your path, your timing, your journey. And clarity comes when you stop looking left and right, and start looking forward. When you stop listening to noise, and start listening to purpose. When you stop waiting, and start deciding. Now let's bring everything together, because this is where your story can begin to change. Not tomorrow, not someday, but from this moment. And to do that, you need to understand something very important. Your pain is not your weakness. It can become your power. Maybe you've failed before. Maybe you've been rejected, ignored, or doubted. Maybe you tried something, and it didn't work. Maybe you're carrying stress, pressure, or quiet frustration that no one else can see. And instead of facing it, you hide it. You distract yourself. You tell yourself it's fine. But deep down, you know it's not. Here is the truth. Pain does not disappear when you ignore it. It grows. But when you face it, when you accept it, when you learn from it, it changes you. It makes you stronger, sharper, more aware. The strongest people are not the ones who never struggled. They are the ones who use their struggles as fuel. So don't hide your pain. Use it. Let it push you forward instead of holding you back. And this leads to another truth you must accept. Life is not automatic. Your life will not suddenly become better without your decision. Things don't change just because you want them to. They change because you act. You are not stuck. You are not a tree. You can move. You can learn. You can rebuild. You can create a completely new version of yourself, step by step. If you don't like your current habits, change them. If you don't like your routine, rebuild it. If you feel lost, start small and move forward anyway. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to take one real step, and then another. Because progress is not about perfection. It is about direction. And now, here is the final truth, simple but powerful. Life doesn't owe you anything. It does not guarantee success, happiness, or opportunity. But at the same time, it gives you something even more important. The ability to build everything. Your future is not decided by luck. It is shaped by your actions, your discipline, and your choices. So don't wait for life to be fair. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone to come and change everything for you. Stand up and take control. Build your skills. Improve your English. Strengthen your mindset. Move forward even when it feels slow, even when no one notices. Because every small step matters. And if you feel like you are behind, listen carefully. You are not behind, you are starting. Everyone begins at a different point. Everyone has a different path. What matters is not where you are today, but what you choose to do next. The moment you decide to act, you are already moving in the right direction. So here is something simple I want you to do right now. Make a decision. A real one. Not just a thought, not just a feeling. A decision that you will take action today. Even if it's small. Even if it's imperfect. Just start. And if you want to do two things at the same time, improve your English and build a stronger mindset, then stay with this journey. Like this video if it made you think differently. Comment, I choose to start now. And subscribe to Invention English for more lessons that help you grow your English and your life at the same time. Because at the end of the day, remember this. Your life doesn't change when you watch. It changes when you act.